Alright you lot, don't forget to give us a follow on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and while you're at it, give us a 5-star rating. Trust me, it really does help us out. The news of the moment, and it's kind of carried on a little bit, and we're still a bit unsure of what's going on, is Mattia Binotto.
It is indeed.
Departing from Ferrari.
Yep.
Of mutual consent, seemingly, he's handed his giving his notice in, giving his P45.
Do you know what that actually means, though? That means Ferrari came to him and went, lad, we're going to sack you. However, if you agree to it as well, it'll make you look better in the news.
Yeah, there's the jump before push.
Yes.
It screams that to
it does.
me.
It really does.
And it was funny as well, in the Autosport Awards were last night, and Christian Horner was asked, what did you make of Mattia Binotto? Like, are you surprised that he got sacked? And he was like,
question.
Not really.
Mad.
Which you think, like, as a fellow team principal, that's cold, man.
Yeah, that is, That's basically, I could do a better job than him. I'm not surprised that he went.
Well, funny you say it. So could he? Because look, there's been a lot of names obviously knocking about in terms of potential replacements for the most high-profile team principal job in Formula One, given the stature of Ferrari, given the expectation and the pressure. A lot of names have been linked, which we'll kind of go through a lot of these, but Christian Horner being one of them. Yeah. And he was like, I'm loyal to Red Bull. I mean, drivers have gone.
He's not getting free energy drinks at Ferrari. That's what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he might get a nice car. What's he get? At Red Bull, he's getting that little Mini with the Red Bull.
Yeah, with the Red Bull can that they drive around every now and again.
If he goes Ferrari, he'll get like an F8 or something.
Yeah, that's
decent.
That's all right, Christian. If you're listening, mate, I think you know what to do, son.
What do you reckon? Do you reckon Christian is the right kind of person for that job? Not that he's going to necessarily. I can't see it happening.
First of all, I would be like honestly so surprised if it happened.
I can't even picture that.
I can't even picture him just wearing red at all.
We're gonna get production to knock up a thumbnail with Christian Horner and Red Bull.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if their Photoshop doesn't crash.
Because
that just doesn't sound right. But I would love to see it.
The PC would see what's going on and would just be like, "Nah, I'm blue screening. I can't hack this anymore. I'm afraid." I can't even imagine him wearing like a red t-shirt. Just not even branded with Ferrari. I just can't imagine him doing that. Do you know what I mean? So
his whole wardrobe is just the blue color palette scale, from like green to blue.
To like blue, like a bit of turquoise in the middle.
Starts to get a bit too like, it's a bit maroon. Jerry's like, no, Christian, no, come on,
mate, burn that one, I'm afraid. Chuck that out of the window. Yeah, no, I can't imagine it, obviously, but if it was to happen, I think the thing with Christian Horner is like the marriage between him and Red Bull is so good because Red Bull is obviously based on being so extreme, right? It's all to do with extreme sports. It's all about living on the edge and pushing the boundaries of like just sports and also rules and like, you know, that sort of like, that's the brand of them. Christian Horner fits that so perfectly. Yeah. Because he's just such a maverick in like what he says and how he conducts himself. Yeah. And even in just saying that, like even being asked about Binotto and him being like, yeah, can't lie, I'm not surprised. Like that's just like it's not professional at all. It's just that it's like edgy. Do you know what I mean?
It's not like a media trained expectation of a response, but he does work, because that's the thing. He's been at that Red Bull team since the very beginning, since they took over Jag. Yeah, and the thing is, like, they are, like you say, right? Red Bull's, you know, extreme sports. They go against the grain. Ferrari is like, from a brand point of view, it's like the polar opposite. Like, you have to get on a waiting list to get a Ferrari. You have to be like approved to drive a Ferrari.
Do you have to be approved to drive a Ferrari?
You can't just rock up with like the bag and just be like, right, I'll have a Ferrari, please. You can't do that. You can do that with like McLaren or Lamborghini or whatever, but you can't do that for Ferrari.
What's the approval process?
I don't know.
What questions do they ask?
Well, no, because
we need to do that at some point on the show. We need to go through and like see if we can get approved a Ferrari.
Oh my God. Do you reckon we've got the budget for that, producer? Yeah, I reckon
I can contribute 57 quid from my bank account.
That's just about enough for a Roma, I reckon. No, because what is it? Deadmau5 years ago. Yeah, he got like he bought a Ferrari, but then he wrapped it in like Nyancat wrap. Oh my! And Ferrari went mad. Yeah, they were like, "You got."
To be fair, I hear that.
They like sent a cease and desist to him. It's his car, man. It's his own car.
No, like, you can't be wrapping it like that. That's crazy.
It looks sick.
I also hear it.
It looks sick. Well, so that's but fundamentally, as we digress. Yeah, they're very different brands. That's why I couldn't picture it. But you've got to feel like Christian said it. Like he's gone up against 6 different Ferrari team principals now. Yeah, 6. Yeah, like surely there's a lot to be said of Christian's consistency at Red Bull, and maybe Ferrari need a bit of that. Do you think this has been harsh on Binotto? Do you think it would have come good? Because I'm still on the fence.
Yeah, it in the same way that like when you said it like screams of like push or or jump or whatever. It also screams of like bit of a scapegoat.
Yeah,
in a sense of like I know that. At the end of the day, as the team principal, it is your responsibility. Like the results come down to it's like the same as a football manager. Like not the same.
The buck stops with you. Yeah,
yeah. It drops with you. If the team's not performing, the manager gets sacked. You don't get rid of all the players. Do you know what I'm saying? In the same way, in a F1 team.
Just for anyone who doesn't understand, like what's the job of a team principal?
Well, I guess the team principal like overlooks everything, kind of decides strategy, not like actual race strategy, but like actual team,
strategic direction of the team.
Strategic direction of the team.
They make sure the right people are in the right position to make the right decision.
And what I will say is, what you can look at Ferrari and you can pretty much conclude that the right people are not in the right positions, or the wrong people are in said positions. Do you know what I mean? Like, and ultimately that is a job that comes down to him. How long has he been at Ferrari? Or how long had he been at Ferrari?
Well, he'd been at Ferrari for 20... I think it was 28 or 25 years.
Yeah.
So he'd been there in some capacity, like graduated straight into Ferrari. Was in the Schumacher domination eras, he was part of the engine team.
Yeah.
So like he understands Ferrari through and through.
Yeah.
There was always the question of he's a technical man, and technically they produced a very good car this year. You can't really doubt that side of things.
Yeah.
Which makes me. Because the notion I was always parroting is like, he should step back to a more technically focused role.
Yeah.
And a few people pointing this out, and it's a good point, is that, that to expect Mattia Binotto to step down, basically, that's a lot to ask of a person.
Yeah.
To step down and go into a lower position,
role. Yeah.
And then have someone else come in and do the job that you weren't, because
it's even worse than being sacked. Like
the official line is that Mattia Binotto's hand is noticing left, but it seems that he didn't feel trusted by the people above him.
Yeah.
And that obviously Charles' trust is understandably been waned, and maybe there's been murmurings from his side of the camp. In the same way that I suppose if things weren't going the way Verstappen wanted, because he is good enough to command that position as the present and the future of that team. I think Charles is kind of the same. They want Charles to be the next Schumacher.
Yeah. They want him to be there for 10, 15 years, like winning championships and stuff. Realistically, and if he doesn't trust the leadership of
which is understandable. I'm not being funny
now. Yeah,
mate. If I'm Charles Leclerc, like I'm flipping tables, being like shit needs to change it. Because this is not good enough.
We've got to switch this up, otherwise I'm leaving in 2 years.
We had a dedicated like Ferrari fuck up of the year
award
in our awards.
Yeah.
And there was still plenty we didn't even mention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The shortlist was could have been about 10 long for that award.
So who's getting the job then? Because if they're gonna let Binotto go, right? Because it's a degree, whether it's he left or they pushed him or they just let him leave. Who comes in now?
We all know what should happen, and that's that they maybe go outside of the Ferrari family potentially. We all know what is going to happen, and that's that they're going to hire like the rear jackman or something from inside, but he's Italian, so it's calm, and he's got like a name that rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, nice.
And he's like,
I like that.
It was a good Italian. It was a good, strong Italian name.
I like that.
They've already had a Stefano, haven't they?
Yeah.
Carly.
That's the thing. Because they're not at the World Cup this year either, so they've got time to...
Gianfranco. That's good.
Bring back Zola.
Yeah.
Throwback.
Get him involved. But I don't know. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, the thing is, so the names that are being... Obviously, Fred Vasseur has been spoken about a lot.
Yeah.
Alfa Romeo, good relationship with Charles, which is clearly an important thing going forwards.
Yeah.
Given he first year was at Alfa Romeo, did really well there. He founded ART as well, who was Charles' team in junior categories. I'm surprised that Franz Tost isn't being spoken about a bit more as well.
Yeah.
Because Franz has been about for time. You've got to think, if Franz wants, like, that AlphaTauri team, unless he gets bought out by someone, in which case, say Porsche bought out, for example, they're probably bringing their own people. I think if there was an opportunity for Franz, he lives like 45 minutes from Maranello. Finds us 45 minutes from Maranello anyway. He's been there for time. I'm surprised he's not being spoken about a little bit more.
Yeah.
There's who else? So there's a few kind of, in terms of like internal candidates, you've got Lauren Mekis, who's was like race, not strategy, race director.
Okay, I was going to say, if he's strategy, please, not him.
Because he used to be at the FIA. It's very like, everyone gets about an F1, goes from the team to the FIA. But I don't know, I feel like Vasseur has to jump at this opportunity if there is one.
I think out of all of those, I think Franz Tost would make sense, realistically.
Franz Tost would also make sense, but I think
probably going to end up being Freddie Vasseur.
Because I also think that we know that Audi are going to take over that team by 2026, and I think they'll want their own people.
Yeah.
And I think if he doesn't take this opportunity and stays, I don't necessarily think I think that the opportunity to go to Ferrari, we've seen it with drivers, we saw it with Seb, we saw it with Carlos.
You have to jump at that. And like, you can't be loyal to a brand that might not be there and isn't going to be there in 3 years.
Yeah.
Because if he stays around, it's because he loves Sauber, whatever, but like, it's not going to be Sauber by 2026. So.
Well, if you're watching this on YouTube, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, let us know who should be the new team principal.
Because I think there's a lot of potential names out there, but it remains to be seen.
Give it Charles Leclerc. Let him be a driver team principal. That'd be amazing. You know how you have like player managers.
Maybe. The thing is, on a race day,
he can dictate his own strategy.
Listen, you have Sky Sports like Crofty having a waffle with like Andreas Seidel or Christian or whatever. They've obviously got time.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's that on a race day. They're just there as like they're not really doing that much on a race day.
They're overseeing.
Yeah, things, exactly.
They're talking to people.
Charles can oversee it from the cockpit.
Christian Horner's always talking to Crofty on Sky.
Yeah, exactly.
Got him on speed dial.
Well, they're either not talking to Sky Sports or they're...
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, that's true. Actually.
It's one extreme.
Yeah, on the pit wall anymore.